Hi guys, it's been a while. Um, Sorry to have skipped last week, but I have been going through it, and it's time for some truths that I did not want to put out publicly, but things have blown up, and I need, I feel that I need to address some things um, that have happened, and I've said before, this journey is about authenticity, and even when things are shameful on my end, um, you know, sometimes I'm gonna have to talk about them. Um, um, so things have been really hard. Um, I told you guys that I was going to be moving, and what happened was I ran out of time, and the apartment that I thought I was going to get fell through. There were a few apartments, and it was like rapid succession. Um, the one that I really wanted, the owner was so cool, and unfortunately, um, her husband's niece reached out and needed a place, and so I lost that place to the husband's niece. So I found myself on the absolute verge of being unhoused, and I didn't have the money. I have been accused as of late by a member of the family of origin of um, attempting to make money off of all of this, which was so out of left field to me. Because here's the thing: do I want to get this book out, the first book? Do I want to get all of them out? Yes, absolutely. Does it have anything to do with money? No, because especially after talking to people, over the last 3 years about putting books out, I know that I'm not going to make barely anything, if anything at all. I may lose money in all this, you know? It's not the point. The point is getting it out to heal, to show others that you can heal, and to inspire, and to be courageous, and to finally use my voice after a lifetime of not being able to. That's the point. So to be told something along the lines of that I'm using my trauma to make money or to try to make money by this person was a slap in the face, and it came out of nowhere. And I had to swallow my pride and do what I said I would never do. And I contacted a couple people in the family of origin, Graham being one of them. And it was a gigantic mistake. It did teach me that it's all over. Like, I will never ever reach back out to her. It's over. Um Not for anything. She I have known that she's slowly deteriorating over time with, I worry about dementia, because I think she's showing signs of it. However, there have been all these times over the past 3 years that have shown me who she really is, and she has told me who she really is. I just didn't want to accept it. There was one time we were arguing over the things that she's done over her lifetime, the lies that she has told. Um, and I was so mad, and I'm like, you think you're a good person, And she stopped and she's like, no, I don't. She's like, I am not a good person. And it just took me aback because I thought she was this great person and wasn't ready to come to terms with all the things that I had been learning, both from her and through circumstances that have occurred. So, am I telling these stories to hurt them? No. Am I telling these stories and they're shining a giant spotlight on the sickness that surrounds the intergenerational trauma? Yeah. But that's what happens when a cycle breaker comes along. Do they hate me for it? Yeah. I honestly think, and I am not being hyperbolic about this, I honestly think that a lot of them would prefer if I were to unalive myself. And I came really close. Again. I'm going to try to stay on track here. My neurodivergent mind wants to take this conversation all different ways, but I'm hoping you guys can follow. I had to reach out to, I've got very, very few people left in the family of origin that I still trust or have trusted. And the person that I reached out to for a little bit of financial help during this really difficult time shamed me. And I didn't expect it. And it was very hurtful, but it also showed me, I've been like, it's constant people showing who they really are. And if they're not safe, then I need to let them go. And so I'm down to 2 members of the family of origin that I will still speak with. And one being my son and the other being a nephew. And I told my nephew that the only way that things will remain okay between he and I would be if he does not ever speak to me about what is going on with all of them. Ever. I don't want to know. And I need him to not ever talk to them about what's going on in my life. And it sucks that that's how it has to be, but it is. Like, I have got to get completely away, cut all ties completely to ever have any kind of peace or happiness in my life. And I know that now for a fact. So where do I want to go? There was a time about 10 years ago that my cousin was getting married, and we were in Tucson. I was with a bunch of the family of origin. My uncle rented an Airbnb. And Graham and my son and I went out there and stayed at the Airbnb with them. It was the first time I was meeting my uncle's new wife, who I did not like. I'll tell you why in a few. I did not like her at all. She ended up that night one of the nights that we were there, we were playing apples to apples. And my son was it, I guess, like the one, choosing which card out of all of us that, won. And the card said something about, like, name something that's disgusting or something along those lines. And my new aunt put down gay marriage. And I remember my body tensing up and getting upset and like teary-eyed and wanting to excuse myself, which I did. But before I did that, my son grabbed the card that she put down and legit went, "Nope, not that one," and and I was so proud of him, but I was still so freaking hurt by that. And it just, like, immediately, you're not a safe person. And I need to stay away from you. So I went outside. I could hear them. They were talking about it. She's like, "I didn't know she was gay." Whatever. Like that, doesn't matter. That's what you really think. And that's how you really feel. And you just showed your hand, So, she tried to make, like, amends by sitting down and talking to me. And it was just her and I. Grandma's outside with Pip, her dog. Hey. And, I think it was Pip. No, it was her other dog. And this new aunt and I were talking, and she's like, "So help me understand," because there's 5 kids that Graham has. She's like, "Help me understand." What are you doing? She wants attention, sorry. She's like, "Help me understand," cat butt. Help me understand, like, who is who with all of them. And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "So your mom is the one with the different dad?" And I went, "No, that's my aunt, her sister. That's not my mom." And she's like, "No, I know Aunt so and so has a different dad, but your mom does too." And I went, "Excuse me? What?" Okay? Never heard this before in my life. Brand new information. Okay? So I'm freaking out and going, "What the hell is going on?" And in my mind, first thing that came to my mind was, I need to know who this dude is, because there's obvious mental illness in the family, and I need to know, like, for health reasons, what the mental health was from his side, this stranger that apparently I'm related to. So I went outside, and Graham was out there in the courtyard, and I was like, "Graham, can I ask you anything?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, No. Aren't you cute? No. "Can I ask you anything?" "Yeah." "Okay. Does my mother have a different father from her brothers?" "Oh, Jaren, you can't ask me any. You can't ask me. No, just freaking out like she glitched, like it was, God. And I just watched her have her little breakdown, and then she ends up back inside. I'm still outside, and I'm still trying to understand and process, which was not happening at all, what was happening. And I hear the uncle inside, because when I say this man cannot understand other people's points of view. And it's such a classic narcissistic, icky thing that is so true. I really mean it. Like, so he goes, "What are we talking about all this for? This is old news." And I'm outside and I'm going, okay, so you knew, but I didn't. This is not old news to me. And he could not wrap his brain around the fact that this was brand new information for me, because narcissists will only think from their point of view. They don't get it. And it's so gross. God, it's gross. So this is, I didn't shame her for that at all. The man that I thought was my grandfather for my life up to that point was a bastard. And I've told you before, I hope he's burning in hell. He was abusive to my uncles. He was abusive to my mother. I don't know if he was abusive to my aunt, but he was just an abusive piece of shit. And he was abusive to my grandma, for sure. When she was pregnant with my mother, he kicked her down and out. I guess it was out on the porch, down the stairs. He kicked her, and she fell and broke her tailbone while she was pregnant with my mother. What kind of monster does that? I hate that man. So to know that I'm not related to him, sweet. Do I know about, like, anything about this other man that is my grandfather? No. I know that he's not alive anymore. I know that he didn't have any other kids. I know that he was married. But it's this kind of shit that's been coming out. That's been, over time. The truth. The truth will always come out. It's such a stupid waste of time to lie. So, there's other things that have been happening, like over the past 3 years with Graham, where you just can't trust. Like, is she going through dementia? I don't know. Do I see her struggling with her memory? Yes. But she lies. And she lies about that specifically. She has said at holidays and giggled, says that she just pretends to not remember. She just pretends. So it is crazy making to understand what is real and what is not when it comes to her. So in the middle of this, almost being without anywhere to go, like to the point where I called shelters and had to call early in the morning, like, because it was either that or sleep in my car or call the family of origin for help. I called Graham. And my uncle was going to be out there visiting with his giant dog, is what Grandma says he has, which comes into play in just a minute. So initially I was like, can I stay for a couple weeks, whatever. And there was yes, then no, then yes, then no. We went for 4 days of this. And at one point, she texted my son and tried to triangulate him. And I am so angry about that. And it's not new. She does it all the time because I won't talk to her, or she forgets that we're talking or whatever. And so she tries to drag him in. Thank God my son is smart enough to know that that's what's going on, and he just does not play the game. And Um, she told him something that whatever it was about me, he wouldn't tell me. It was that bad. He said he will never tell me what she texted him. It was bad enough to where he stopped the texting conversation and called her up and went off. And my son doesn't do that, you know? She said the next day, I guess, that she read the text and was like, I can't believe I wrote that, or something like that. Whatever. The point being, the smear campaigns against me. One of the reasons that I started this, so the first reason that I started doing these videos should have been for me to heal, right? If I'm being honest, it was more to help others know that there's a path forward. Like, make myself into this case study, be honest about it, and show other people that, yeah, it's really hard, but you can do it, you know? It was to inspire. So those two reasons for sure. But there was a third reason. I've had smear campaigns from the family of origin. I have had a smear campaign at my former place of employment. And I've had a smear campaign with a group that I used to be in of survivors from the founder of the group, who I believe to be a very dangerous narcissist. That's my belief. I can have that belief. She did some horrible things to me and had me very, very not okay. So I've got all these smear campaigns going on, right? And I just had it. Because there's all this nonsense out there being talked about me, and I'm going, you know, what do I do? What do I do? And the only thing that I could think of is come on here and be me. And be honest. And let everybody see who I really am. And if you don't believe it, okay. I mean, there's nothing that I can do. But I know, without a doubt, that I'm being honest. And I think about Graham. Think about Graham a lot, because she's almost 95, and I doubt that she has very much longer. And something that I had told her a few years ago, one of the things that just absolutely breaks my heart is my belief system is that we have to answer for the things that we've done while we're here. Okay? Whatever being it is that created us, whatever, like, I believe in something, and I believe in having to answer for the things that we've done. Like, I do. And I think about her being so close to the end of life, and, you know, talking about all of this with her at the beginning was more, let's clear the air kind of thing. Because I don't want her dying without having fixed things, you know? Because I do believe you have to answer for the way you lived your life. So here's an opportunity to fix it. For me, I live every day, every damn day now, of if I were to die tomorrow, okay, fine. I'm not afraid of death at all, because I live authentically. I'm not afraid of answering for the things that I have done here, because I live authentically. And I do everything that I can to fix things if I wrong people, or if I mess up, take accountability. And I want that for her, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, and that is beyond a shame for me, to me. So, going back to nearly being homeless, I ended up with a few $100s with a member of the family that did shame me over it. And that was really difficult, but I'm grateful for, the help, but I'm very hurt by the shame and the words that were said. And this realization that this person does not understand what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. And having CPTSD and therefore being neurodivergent, I don't think like other people. I don't think through the same lens, and I know that. But that also means that they don't think like me. So for her to come at me like she did, saying that I'm trying to make money off of this, just took me out of left field. Like, it was just, what the hell are you talking about? My gram went and told the whole family, again, as far as I understand it, that I asked to use her credit card to put money down for an RV. Now, here's where this shit comes into play. I don't know if she's going and mixing up the things that I said, and it's because of some kind of memory issue, or if she's just trying to start shit. But she's lying. She's lying. So, I've got to humiliate myself now because I'm going to tell the truth. So, what happened was I drive rideshare, and I do not make enough money to survive doing that after I lost my job. Now, I lost my job in very illegal ways, and hence me taking them to court in the future. Me taking them to court in the future, there are things that I hope to gain from that. Number one, I would like to buy an RV. That's where this RV thing came from. Did I ever ask Grandma for money to buy an RV? Hell no. Did I ever ask Grandma to use her credit card and any money off of it? No. And I'll explain that in a second. Have I ever taken advantage of my grandma for money or anything else? Hell fucking no. As a matter of fact, excuse my language, but as a matter of fact, she doesn't know this, but she does now, because there were times that she didn't have money. So I would take my money and hide it in her house for her to find and be like, oh my God, I do have money. I don't take money from my grandma. That is not who I am. The problem was my phone was going to be turned off. And I had a problem with my bank account at the time. Like, shit went bad. Financially, shit went really bad, and I didn't know how to fix it. And it happens. And damn it, we shouldn't shame people for things like that. It happens. And if you haven't had that happen to you yet, well, consider yourself lucky. And I'm thinking specifically of people that are giving me a hard time about it. If you have had that happen to you, then you know what I'm talking about. And it's humiliating to get on here and to be honest about that. So here I am. My phone's going to be turned off. T-Mobile's saying that they'll work out a payment plan, but I have to use a card. And my card wouldn't work. My debit card wouldn't work because there was a hold on it. So I'm going, shit, what am I going to do? I need my phone to work. Like, what am I going to do? So, without even thinking about it, and sure as hell not thinking that it was going to blow up into what it blew up into, I asked her, we were just talking, and I asked her, would you consider letting me use your credit card, but I would not take any money off of it. It's just a placement. So I can make the payment arrangement, go into T-Mobile and pay it. And then there would be no issue. They're not going to take any money, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, we've helped each other back when she was younger and I was younger with things when they come up. Like I thought a family should do, you know? I don't know what the fuck she was thinking, but she went and was like, I need to call John. And I'm like, my uncle. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I'm calling him. I'm like, okay, you need to chill out. If this is going to be a big deal, forget it. I'll figure something out. Not even thinking that I could go get a prepaid card. Like, it didn't even dawn on me until later. So I'm like, just forget I asked. Don't, like, she was getting worked up, and I'm like, please just forget it, you know? Oh, no. She's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. She gets off the phone and proceeds to go around and start this smear campaign. And it turned into that I was asking for her card number or something to get an RV. So she took part of a conversation, another part of a conversation, twisted it into this bullshit lie. And that's what the whole family is thinking of me over there. That's what happened. Is it humiliating for me to come on here and tell you that? Yeah. Is this something that I ever thought that I would have to do? Hell no. Am I embarrassed? Fuck yes, I am. What has this taught me? That there are very, 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 very unsafe people in the family of origin. Number one. Number two, blood doesn't mean shit. It means nothing. Sharing DNA with someone means nothing. It's all about who treats you right and who you treat right. It's all about loving somebody unconditionally. And I have people that do. I have chosen family that have been there for me way more than the family of origin ever has. Ever in my entire life. And I get scared sometimes that I'm going to lose them or that I don't deserve them. Because there was, for my entire life, until 3 years ago almost, I had no self-esteem. Not low self-esteem. I had no self-esteem. I had no self-worth. The narcissist in my life that I grew up with, and then, you know, partners that I had later, and friendships and bosses and friendships at work, and just just horrible shit had convinced me that I was just dirt. Like, why bother, you know? And trying to build myself up from that, well, I've got so many people that are just trying to tear me down. And these people are ideally, because they're family of origin, supposed to be there. The thing that I'm realizing, and the thing that my therapist this week had told me, that I'd been told before, but I have such a hard time internalizing it, is they don't deserve me. And it sounds so gross to say that. Like, who the hell am I? I'm not anything special, you know? And I have to go and stop, and I have to go, no, Jaren. There are people in this world that don't deserve your empathy. They don't deserve your kindness. They don't deserve a moment from you. They don't. And the one that I struggled with the most was with Adia, who I was in love with for a long time. And she used me and manipulated me for a very long time. And realizing, and I'm still struggling, that maybe, Jaren, just maybe, she never deserved you. And for 20 years, I would not let myself think that. So I'm starting to realize that it's okay to think that. That it's okay. The family of origin, for the most part, with 2 exceptions, do not deserve me. And my trauma therapist had to keep saying it because I just wouldn't hear it and believe it and internalize it. But it's the truth. It's the damn truth. They don't. So here's what's going to happen. I was able to fix things, and I'm still in the apartment. I will be until next month. Mid-next month. Mid-next month, I'm gone. Finally. I am gone. And I'm not in an RV. The RV is going to take time. The case is going to take time. God, it could be years from now. I am leaving California. For good. And I'm not saying where I'm going. You guys are going to know at some point with landmarks and all of that. But I am so relieved and so happy. And I have 2 choices, which shocked me. I went from, one thing I want to say is you want to, even at the lowest moments when you're thinking about giving up and giving in, you got to hang on because you just don't know what's coming. And it could be good, right? And it was. So now I have 2 options when I had none a few days ago of where to go. And the people that I love the most in this entire world are there for me in ways that I never expected. Ever. And I will find a way to pay it back 100-fold, and love them forever and always be there for them. Always. You know what's funny? My chosen family, I've never fought with. We've never once argued. That's nuts. Like, will it happen? Sure, I'm sure. But it hasn't, which is nuts. Because I'm so used to everything with the family of origin constantly being a battle. So, what am I going for? I want peace. I want to be around the people that love me and that I love. And I want peace in my life. And I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it. Not just that, and this is something that I probably should have started the video with, but if you've hung around, thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff. But one of the biggest things that happened in this mess of a couple weeks, I got the results of the biopsy. Which is a whole other story. But from what they found, there's no cancer. And they biopsied the endometrium. No cancer. A year and a half, about, maybe longer, I have thought every damn day that I have cancer in my uterus. and I don't. So I feel like I have a whole new lease on life. 2 weeks sitting here as down as you can get, as up as you can get, as down as you can get, as up as you can get. Like, it's just been this insane roller coaster, and I'm so proud of myself for hanging in there, and I am so grateful to my chosen family, who at some point I just hope that I can refer to as my family, and leave all of the other family of origin behind, because I'm not a part of them anymore. I'm not. And I really never was. You know? It's like I was dropped into this world with a bunch of people that I could never understand, and that they could never understand me, ever. So maybe this is what I was supposed to do all along, and now I need to step back and let them deal with all their shit, because I didn't cause this. I know they hate me, and I know that they they blame me. I don't know that, but I assume so. I didn't cause this. I didn't do these things. You know? I didn't lie. I didn't play games. I didn't manipulate. I didn't do these horrific things. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to have a coughing fit. So I'm out of here. And numbers are blocked. And those that I still want around, they know who they are. They know who they are. This is rough. I hope you guys, I don't know how you view me. I don't. But whatever it is, it's just me being real. So take it or leave it, I hope it helps. You guys know that. That's like the whole point. And I'll keep doing videos and having adventures, and hopefully things will start getting better. Because damn it, I've had enough bad for many lifetimes. So it's time to make it better. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. If anything comes up, I'll do another video. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you guys. Good night.